Well, you sometimes you have one of those a year where just you're kind of walking around in mud in the first half. Our energy level was not very good, and credit to San Jose and Coach Miles. They were ready to go, and we found a way down 13, cut down that lead, get stops and rebounds, and make free throws when we needed to. So credit to Viola, credit to McClendon, Aduje. They played a great game. It was hard in the first half. They were playing 5 guards. We kind of had to switch everything, keep it in front. It was way more of a traditional game in the second half, and obviously a good result. So appreciative of the fans and grateful for the win.
Two for you. You mentioned playing in mud. You mentioned them playing 5 guards. Was the defensive problem in the first half more of an energy thing, more of a schematic X's and O's kind of thing?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think we were fearful of giving up the 3. We were over-helping a little bit. It felt like almost like those guarantee games when you play those really small teams, and we were not prepared for that. They had foul trouble, and they went to that. And so they were spreading us out. We were over-helping. We weren't real comfortable. And they obviously built a lead, and then a little bit more, like I said, of a more traditional game in the second half that we were more comfortable with. Donnie, way better in the second half. I thought the first half way too consumed with getting fouled, refs or whatever, and his effort, his energy was way better in the second half.
Obviously, CJ had the thumb injury, not related to anything but basketball, and there's a lot of people asking. The Braden Applehawn's into the starting lineup thing. He's been playing well. Maybe it's a sample size issue, but the starting lineup tonight was minus 12 in over 8 minutes of play. They got outscored by quite a bit when they were playing together. Was that something that Braden is doing differently than CJ, or was that just a small sample size? You're not going to think too much about it.
No, I think he was missing shots, but the plus minus was bad all around in the first half because they were outplaying us. So I don't think it was Braden. I think it was collectively everybody. I also think Phillip was really good. Came off the bench and played with phenomenal energy, toughness, getting more comfortable in the lane. I think that was obviously an issue early. Had that dunk and was driving it. So that's why you need a bench. And, Phillip certainly stepped up. And, Braden made a big 3. I got him out. We were really tired there. I know big 3 and the building was going nuts, but we were exhausted and had to get a defensive lineup in. But Braden was fine. I don't think the plus minus was all him.
Largest comeback during your time here. What do you feel like your team showed you specifically in gutting out that win at the end?
Well, disappointed in the first half to give them that lead. But there was some resolve there in the second half. Whether it was Donovan making a big shot in the short corner, Nelly making big free throws, True even getting that rebound, but then turning it over, Mustafa getting a big rebound. And then obviously missing the 2 free throws at the end and then getting the rebound. They just found a way to win. But I think we all know, for one, when people come into this building, it's a big deal to everybody, as it should be. It's an honor to play in this building. But we need to have way more energy defensively than we did at the beginning of that game. Now, it was way better in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, can you just talk a little bit more to that? It seemed like they were very calm. What does that say about this team? Calm, cool, and collected to get that win down the stretch,
Yeah, you got to rely on the older guys. Nelly, this is his 5th year, I think, in college basketball, makes big free throws. Mustafa, 19 points again. Mustafa's quietly playing very, very good basketball. Donovan does some big things. So weird playing a league game this early. Nobody is where they want to be right now. We've had a lot of travel, so it's nice to be home. We'll be home all month. Just needed to have a great level of resolve to go get a win when it just was not going our way. And a lot of that had to do with San Jose.
For sure. And then I just got to ask you about your vantage point of the Donnie shot. He always does something crazy every year, it seems. But that was a great shot. How big was that?
Yeah, he was tired. Obviously, I'm playing him a lot of minutes, and I am using him a lot in a lot of ball screens, and it's wearing him down. I probably got to give him a little bit more of a rest at times. But he's a great player. Was way better in the second half than he was in the first half. And that's what you need sometimes. You need a guy to go get a bucket.
What lesson can you show from that film on Donnie after that mess layup, came back and got that steal right after?
Yeah, I mean, I was screaming, go make a play, go, because sometimes you give up on it, but they didn't give up on that play. Made a big block, steal, whatever you wanted to call it, because they were starting to push it a little bit more. They're a slow tempo team, but we were not getting back and getting set, so we made obviously a great energy play there.
That was one of your 3-point buckets. You had 6 total points off turnovers. Again, sort of like maybe the beginning of the Arizona State game. Were they doing something that was just really making it hard for you guys to turn them over?
Yeah, they had the ball in the 5-man's hand a lot, right? So it was not in the guard's hands as much. So we were not able to disrupt as much as we could. I didn't like our defensive plan. That's on us as a coaching staff. We really revved it up with our pressure. So I think a lot of that had to do with he was like a point forward out there. He's a really good player. Once he gets in great shape, he's kind of a problem. He killed us 2 years ago as well.
And then you guys aren't the only team that was heavily favored and really got to run for their money at home tonight in the league. Utah State did too. Is this a game that you're just, I mean, you're going to watch the film, I imagine. You're not really one to not watch film, but you just kind of chalk this up to that's one of those games. I mean, it's the first one.
I mean, it's too early. I think we have to get better. We have to. And you're down a starter, right? And maybe the rhythm was screwed up a little bit there. I don't know. We got to hold ourselves to a championship standard in that first half. I don't think we did that. So I kind of treat every game. It really doesn't matter. It's the same. I mean, we shouldn't be tired. We're back. We're ready to go. So more than anything, we'll kind of break down the film like we do all the games and hold them accountable best we can while getting rest for Saturday night.
Coach, the crowd was alive tonight as you secured your first conference win of the season. What do you think is the significance of that energy and support from the fans?
Well, I was talking to our new AD, Fernando Lovo, after the game just about how special it is. It really is. They got us going in that second half. They get a little anxious at times, where I have to calm everybody down a little bit because everybody wants to win so badly. But some of the best fans in college basketball that I don't think everybody knows about. And every time I walk down that ramp, I am very, very grateful.
We're just going to ask you about your interactions with the new AD today. Did you get to catch up with him at all before this game?
We've through the process before he got hired, we spoke towards the end and was really, really impressed. We have some common friends and people that we know in the profession that absolutely raved about him. And obviously now he's coming in, his head is spinning, he's meeting a million people and he's trying to hit the ground running. He's trying to, he's got 2 little kids and he's trying to kind of figure it out, so you don't want to wear him down too much. But, I think he understands the fans and how passionate they are about all the sports. He understands what Lobo Athletics and the university means to this community. And I think he wants to dive 2 feet in. And very, very grateful. And I haven't said this publicly, but for what Dave Williams has done, he will be an AD, if not soon, very, very soon. And he held it together through the transition. But even more than that, Eddie really empowered him with us. And in the 3 years that I was here, and he was phenomenal as well. So very grateful for all that Dave gave us and extremely excited about what Fernando's going to bring to the table.
Coach, obviously you haven't really looked into the film in New Mexico State, but obviously kind of tying into what the crowd means and what it means to have a game like this in a rivalry and it only happen once a year. What do you think it's going to take to bounce back from this game in terms of the first half and be able to carry it over to a game like New Mexico State on Saturday? Yeah,
just learn. Get some rest today. Get back with a humble approach to the film. Look yourself in the mirror and figure out what we did well, what we didn't do well, and get back to work. All of our days are They're pretty similar. I try to be very, very consistent with my approach. Doesn't matter if it's a rivalry game or a league game. They're really all the same to me. Now, I understand how important it is to our fans, and it's unique now that you're playing once versus twice. I like it. It was not my choice, so nobody can blame me, but I think it'll increase the intensity because you're only playing once. So we know how important it is to both fan bases.